Hey guys, we're back. We're at the growing area right now. Out of the 80 acres, we're only working a little bit right now. We had a children's program about a year or two ago. Then we went through a little drought here. But as you can see in the background, that's the El Yunque rainforest. We're in Luquillo, Puerto Rico, just so you'll know. It's been pretty overcast, a rainy day, but it's still like in the high 70s right now. And what you're basically looking at is the farm, you know. Farming started early this morning. We had volunteers come in from, they're down for a few days from Virginia Tech. So they're helping us out. And so I'll get my wholesaling business when I get back in the house. It'll be afternoon, but it's all good. We're out ahead of the East Coast until daylight savings. It's a nice day out, man. What they're doing is they're clearing the land right here again. They're making a little trench here for our permaculture project. The last scope earlier, I'm trying to flip it here, guys, but the screen's a little wet, so it ain't flipping right now. Wait a minute, 1 second. Oof, my screen is dirty. Anyway, they're digging out trees, you know. I was chopping them earlier. So I'm gonna have to flip it, guys, because it's not flipping. So earlier I talked about quit claims and having to call the water department of the city. And this goes back to what I hear a lot of guys scoping about is getting your systems in place. I'm one of those people starting out, you know, I want everything in my hands. I want everything to go right, everything to go perfect. So I'm a little shell-shocked about trying to delegate some of these responsibilities because I know how I am and I know how I can get things done. And I kind of expect that same level of, let's say, stick-to-itiveness when someone's performing tasks as well. That's why it's very important to partner with the right people and all of that. Like I said, the guy I'm partnering with, I mean, we pretty much complement each other, but we're both kind of cool-headed, even though, like, I'm probably a little more, let's say, aggressive. So show you this beautiful view. See if I can flip it here. Feel free to heart it up. And if you're on the replay, like I said, once again, my name's Stephen Graham, and I'm a virtual wholesaler. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I live here in Luquillo, Puerto Rico. I've been here for about 7 years. I virtually wholesale in the markets of presently. I'm kind of hitting hard in Pennsylvania right now, but I also do Maryland, Delaware, Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Illinois, California, and everywhere in between if there's property to be had. We're going to go into the garden area while I'm talking here until I can flip it here. She's not wanting to flip. Anyway, like I said, as you see right now, this was like full of trees. So right now we're definitely clearing, getting some headway. Now this is part of, just so you'll know, I mean, it's part of what we're trying to do as far as they say, creating the life you want to live. So, you know, my wife, very passionate about the land. We're pretty passionate about sustainability and what's going on with the environment and with the earth. So, I mean, I think that growing your own food is as important as any other skill that you're trying to learn. And I think that in itself would make you a wealthy person. So, I mean, even if you're in the city, if you have gardens, I don't care if it's an herb garden, grow something, learn to grow. I'm gonna tell you right now, you see what's going on in Flint, Michigan. You know, learn how to do water catchment. You know what I mean? I know a lot of times in the city, if you live near the city, certain areas, you can't necessarily dig a well, legally or otherwise, because of the the contamination of the ground and things like that. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of years of industrialization in some of these cities and towns. So, you know, really consider, you know, catching rainwater. And believe it or not, you should know a lot of these municipalities, a lot of these states, they make it illegal to even catch rainwater. Go figure. So it lets you know really the state of things. And, you know, so like I said, virtual wholesaling is a conduit for me. Obviously, the end game, you know, we are working to get into rehabs. Part of that, obviously, is profit. The other part is revitalization as well, you know. You know, well, we do all types of areas, so I don't necessarily discriminate, but let's just say that where I'm looking at rentals is going to be the lower and the mid areas of a lot of these places that a lot of people have given up on. And I know that's a challenge because of crime and drugs and this and people's ability to pay rent and things like that. But and as I said, I'm going to be doing a partnership. So the whole end game is to be able to travel back and forth, this being my base. I kind of came here to get away from the snow. I cannot stand cold weather. I really don't like cold weather. I mean, I had 42 years of cold weather. I'm done with cold weather. So believe me, I could look at snow on the Weather Channel. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you are virtual wholesaling, the good thing is it's necessary for you to have systems. It's necessary for you to network. It's necessary for you to be able to do the things that you would do if you were boots on the ground. That you know, you have to be more innovative. So a lot of this, obviously, you're not reinventing the wheel, because there are some good programs out there that will show you virtual wholesaling. But at the same time, once again, depending on the market you choose, depending on where you are, obviously I'm in Puerto Rico, it presents some challenges, but it's like it's in the Caribbean, but it's still U.S. Believe me, it's definitely, with the exception of some of the signs being in Spanish, believe me, you can come down here and you'll never miss a beat. Plus, they got some incentives for tax incentives for investment. I know Peter Schiff, he's kind of made big news moving down here, taking advantage of the corporate overseas tax, which comes back at only 4% when it comes back to the U.S. from here. So, you know, I am looking to be able to take advantage of that as well. And certain things you have to set up. Not much, really. You can have a small office and still take advantage of it. So feel free, guys, to network with me. My email address is allpropertylocators@gmail.com. And like I said, I'm definitely looking for buyers and sellers and JV partners. Like I said, we do have buyers and sellers in those areas as well. So stay with me, guys. I got to get back to the crew up here. Everybody's up here doing their thing. So I got to start swinging the machete and getting back in it here. So until later, I'll show you some of this beautiful land here. Some more of this here. Actually, on this other side of these hills right here that you see, matter of fact, more to the right of where you're looking, actually over this, let's say about a half a mile, you're at the ocean. So basically where we are, we're in between the rainforest, which is the El Yunque Peak up there. It's about 3,500 feet, and we're pretty much at sea level. So you know, we're right in between the two, so we can go to the rainforest and the beach in the same day, actually. All right, guys, so I want you to enjoy. My wife's over here telling everybody what's what, and you know, we got some of the Virginia Tech crew here. Hey, that's it. We'll get boots, guys, later.